A thread by Carlos Osuida. Let's talk about the executive order that Donald Trump signed today on improving policing in our country. The criticism, of course, is bad faith partisan fanaticism. Trump is pro police, as are distressed communities. Duh. The two major problems facing our police forces are underfunding, which leads to lower standards of training, and a lack to truly effective restraining techniques. I'm a layperson, so my views are worth the police training I've gotten, which is zero. That being said, I've spoken endlessly to the many cops in my family. They were members of the U.S. Marshals Service Special Operations Group, LAPD Robbery Homicide, U.S. Army Military Police, Hemet PD, U.S. Navy Master at Arms, U.S. Marine Corps Military Police. We never spoke about shootings. I was interested in how they subdued people who resisted arrest. My cousin in the Hemet PD once had to fight for her life, and the suspect got her gun. She always had a second gun in an ankle holster, so she drew it. The fight was on the ground. When my cousin put her second gun against the head of the suspect, and him that he was about to kill him, told him that she was about to kill him, the suspect tossed away the service pistol and surrendered. But this was 30 years ago. Today, with the advent of police body-worn cameras, we can see that things have changed. Drawing a gun on a suspect makes the person more defiant, even if unarmed. They always shout the same thing: shoot me, bitch, shoot me, do it. In Charlottesville, there was an armed militia. It had no impact. This is the moment that the militia leader on the left told his men that they would either have to kill people or leave. Look at his face. He's shocked. My father died in 2013. He had so many illnesses that I can't even count how many times he went to the emergency room. I got to know the doctors and nurses well. They'd confirmed what I'd heard, that gangbangers scream the loudest from the pain of being shot. They all say they had no idea that being shot hurt. We have two generations of people ruined by TV, movies, and video games. It all started with Scarface, and there's a link to the Say Hello to My Little Friend scene in which, of course, Scarface is shot a million times and keeps fighting. I don't blame movies. I blame horrible or non-existent parenting. Todd Grande did a short video on the personality type needed to be a cop. It doesn't exist. No human being can fulfill all the requirements given everything cops have to do. Therefore, the astonishingly low ratio of unjustified police killings and police brutality is a testament to the exceptional job cops do. But it takes a massive toll on them. In order to survive, they have to be able to switch off their empathy instantly. The job does a massive psychological number on them. Provide a huge amount of advanced restraining devices, and that will solve much of the problem. This means funding from the Justice Department. And I simply cannot find the toehold that World War I trench raiders used. A raid to take prisoners was carried out by men stripped of everything except their uniforms, a pistol, and a club. Sound familiar? They captured prisoners silently. Remember, they operated in squads, and they always attacked at night. The prisoner had to be taken alive and unhurt so he could be interrogated. When the squad slipped into the trench, one man jumped the enemy soldier to cover his mouth. One man on each arm readied the now prisoner for handcuffs. And one man used a toe hold. It originated in 19th century wrestling. If a person is handcuffed, the toe hold prevents escape and fighting back. It can be made painful. No need to dogpile and possibly suffocate a person or cause a heart attack. A single patrol officer can do it if trained. But then handcuffing is very hard. This is why we need much better restraining devices. And that is why the cops need more funding, not less. In my city, the LA County Sheriff's Department did away with physical standards. I see 300-pound cops all the time. That's a useless cop. All he can do is shoot. Remember, the correct personality profile to be a cop does not exist. Humans, like you and me, are doing this job exceptionally. And as in all fields, there's room for improvement. Trump's reforms are pro-cop. So am I. While recognizing that policing has to change with the changing times. One of the main issues is the legal impossibility of treating mental illness against the will of the afflicted person. That needs to change right quick. This isn't 100 years ago. We know much more about mental illness today. The whole country is paying for the insanity of letting the violently mentally ill run around free. We got a new Supreme Court. Let's revisit all this. Deinstitutionalization failed. It was pie in the sky. Childishness. As someone who recently survived an attack by two mentally ill homeless people on my own property, I can speak about this with authority. They tried to murder me after stalking me for months. After the attack, I didn't even call the cops. In my city, the last people you want to involve in any violent crime is the police. Their default position is to assume that you provoked the person who tried to murder you, so they investigate you while protecting the attacker. One of the homeless people was arrested on my property 5 times. She threatened to murder me always. The cops got tired of coming out, so here's how the questioning went. Did she make a specific threat to murder you? Yes. Did you feel threatened? Yes. Did you see a weapon? No. Aha! Any reading this will know how I answered that third question to get the 4th arrest. The 5th arrest was this. Did she threaten to use that specific weapon? I knew how it would go after that. Did she specify a specific way she'd use the weapon? Did she say she'd use it on a specific part of your body? Did she give you a specific time when the attack would happen? So I stopped calling the cops. The last time she was arrested, they said this was all my fault because I didn't have a fence. You need to build a fence, they said. Marvelous. With all the stores closed, I guess they meant a mental fence. The next time she came on my property, she and another man ambushed me. It was still daylight. The cops must have told her that they weren't going to arrest her anymore. So she got muscle with a knife, and he attacked me as soon as I opened my back door. But guess what? After he knocked me to the ground, he preened. Even homeless people watch TV and movies and YouTube. Yeah, bitch. That's right, bitch. What's up? What's up? Come on, bitch. He was raising his arms, and I was on my knees. So I didn't follow the script. I closed with him, went for his ribs, and when he doubled over, his face was right there in front of me. And all the fight went right out of him after that. Then the woman attacked me, all 350 pounds of her, waddling and shrieking. We went down the driveway and ended up on the porch. This is her serape. Each iron lawn chair weighs 50 pounds. They both went away, and I didn't call the cops. Why bother? Policing varies by city. Overall, cops are great people with an impossible job. So, screaming "drop the gun" 50 times doesn't work. Even producing a gun doesn't work anymore. Just watch the body cam videos. Increase the funding for cops. give them better means to control those who resist arrest. Except that people are much more degraded now. Help cops learn effective and non lethal means of physically restraining suspects, such as the toe hold, and end the inability to involuntarily treat the mentally ill. Deinstitutionalization is as insane as the people who attacked me. Society as a whole is not required to suffer due to failed social engineering. At the very least, allow sane states to properly address the issue of the violent mentally ill. And support cops. Their job is scientifically impossible, but they do it anyway.